Welcome to Vanta Pulse. Trains, one of the most familiar parts of our daily lives. Every day, countless people rely on them to travel safely, commuting back and forth on fixed track. But have you ever wondered, could that sense of safety completely collapse on a late-night train? In both Japan and South Korea, there are two stations infamous for their eerie legends, platforms marked with a curse. Let's first step into Japan's mysterious Kisaragi Station, an entryway to another world that doesn't exist on any map. There's a well-known Japanese forum called 2Channel. On January 8th, 2004, a thread titled, "Please share any strange things happening around you" appeared on the site. Most of the replies were just casual chatter, until 11:14 p.m. on January 9th, when a post by a user triggered the chilling legend of Kisaragi Station. A user using the name Hasumi posted the following.
This might just be my imagination, but would you mind if I shared something? I just got on a privately operated train, but something feels off.
She explained that she took this train every day for commuting. Normally it would stop every 5 minutes or every 7-8 minutes between bigger stations. But this time, the train had been moving for 20 minutes without stopping. There were 5 other passengers in the car, but they were all asleep. Some people suggested maybe she had boarded an express train by mistake. In Japan, trains vary by type: local, rapid, semi-express, and limited express. Faster trains skip several stations. Others asked if she had simply missed her stop. 15 minutes later, at 11:29 p.m, she replied,
You might be right. Maybe I boarded the wrong train. I'll keep checking. I'll post again if anything else happens.
Someone told her to go to the front cars and ask the conductor. Others warned her to check the driver's cabin to see if the train operator was okay, in case something had gone wrong. So she went to look, but couldn't find the driver or conductor. The driver's cabin seemed to be blocked off by some kind of barrier, and knocking on the door got no response. When asked which line she was on, she said the train had departed from Shin Hamamatsu, a station that's been operating since 1927. She added that the train had entered a tunnel, but she didn't remember any tunnel on her usual route. At 12:23 a.m. on January 9th, she posted again.
The train has stopped. It's at a station called Kisaragi Station. I've never heard of this station. Should I get off?
The replies were divided. Some urged her to get off immediately. The train might be a death train, and staying aboard could mean never returning. Others advised staying on until the end. Getting off could be even more dangerous. She soon posted again.
I got off. It's an unmanned station.
She planned to cross to the other platform and catch a return train, but couldn't find a timetable anywhere. She asked,
The train I just got off is still here. Should I get back on?
But as she posted that message, the train departed, leaving her alone at the station. It was now 12:34 a.m. There was no sign of staff, no schedule posted, and no train in sight. So she decided to leave the station and look around. Outside, there wasn't a soul in sight. No buildings, no lights, not even a taxi. She tried finding a public phone booth to look up taxi companies in the phone book, but couldn't find one. A few minutes later, she posted again.
I called my parents and asked them to come pick me up, but they have no idea where Kisaragi Station is. They're checking the map now. I feel scared.
Forum users helped search the internet for this station, but there was no trace of Kisaragi Station anywhere. At 12:57 a.m, one user left a chilling comment.
When I typed in Kisaragi while looking up the station, a Japanese character for ghost appeared.
In other words, Kisaragi Station might actually mean ghost station. Everyone on the forum was now deeply unsettled. Someone suggested Hasumi walk back along the tracks, so she followed the railway line but found no houses, just weeds and hills. She also said,
I just tried checking my GPS, but it showed an error. I really want to go home.
Suggestions flooded in. Some warned her to conserve her phone battery. Others asked why she hadn't called the police. At 1:30 a.m, she wrote,
My dad called again but still doesn't know where I am. He told me to contact the police. I was nervous, but I gave them a call.
Everyone waited anxiously. 25 minutes later, she updated.
I called the police and tried to explain everything, but they scolded me for making a prank call.
Even the police couldn't help. Then she posted,
I suddenly heard the sound of drums and bells in the distance. I don't know what to do anymore.
Some users warned,
Go back to the station if you're lost. It's best to return to where you started.
Drums and bells only play during festivals.
run, don't turn around.
Don't go back to the station. You'll be taken. Go to the tunnel instead. It should be nearby.
At 2:09 a.m. she wrote,
I heard a man shouting behind me, telling me not to walk on the tracks. It's dangerous. I thought it was a railway worker, but when I turned around, I saw an old man with only one leg about 10 meters away. In the blink of an eye, he vanished. I'm too scared to move.
Some speculated that the old man must have been a ghost, possibly someone who died on the tracks, which is why he had only one leg. The sound of drums was getting louder. Most users told her to stay still and wait for dawn, or to follow the tracks back slowly. Some told her to walk toward the sound, but others scolded them for that dangerous advice. Terrified, Hasumi called her dad again. He told her he had also contacted the police. But the sound of drums behind her kept getting closer. At 2:45 a.m. she posted,
I finally found the tunnel entrance. Its name is Isanuki Tunnel. The sound is really close now. I'm going to gather my courage and walk through it. I'll update again once I'm safe on the other side.
At this time, one user left a comment that made everyone uneasy.
This is the end. No trains, no stations, no way back. Nothing is chasing you. The sounds you hear are only in your mind. Walk toward the other side. If you stop, you'll be trapped in a world that belongs to neither side, and suffer there forever.
He suspected that Hasumi might have already died, but she didn't know it yet. 25 minutes later, at 3:10 a.m., Hasumi posted,
I made it through the tunnel. There's someone ahead. I was so relieved I started crying. I'm going over to him now.
Users begged her not to. Something felt off, but it was too late. Hasumi replied,
Don't worry, he's really kind. He offered to drive me home. I also saw a building nearby that looks like a hotel, so I think I'll be okay.
Users, now in full panic, asked.
Where are you now? Can you ask that person what this place is called?
She soon replied,
He said this place is Hina, but that seems impossible.
Hina is a real station, but it's over 100 kilometers from Shinhamamatsu, where she had originally boarded the train. She couldn't believe she had come so far. Everyone suspected the man was suspicious. Who would appear near a tunnel in the middle of the night? And what kind of person would offer a ride to a stranger who just emerged from a pitch-black tunnel? Everyone kept urging her to get off the car quickly, warning her not to go with the other person. However, when Hasumi saw the message, she was already on the car. During the journey, she noticed that the surroundings were almost entirely mountains, and there was nowhere to stop. By this time, the man had stopped talking to her. At 3:44 a.m., Hasumi left a message saying,
My phone's almost dead. Something feels off and I plan to find an opportunity to escape. The person has been muttering strange things since the beginning. Just in case, I've turned off my phone. This might be my last message.
And indeed, that was the last message she left. From 2004 until now, there has been no further news about Hasumi. Hasumi's first message appeared at 11:14 p.m. on January 8th, and the last message was at 3:44 a.m. on January 9th, a span of 4 hours and 30 minutes. Later, many people searched for Kisaragi Station or saw messages online from someone claiming to be Hasumi, but these were all doubted as fakes. To this day, the truth behind Kisaragi Station remains unknown. Unlike Japan's Kisaragi Station, Korea's Oksu Station really exists. It's located in Yuksudong, Seoul, near the Han River, and is a transfer station where Seoul Metro Line 3 and the Jungang Line intersect. This busy station has an average of 20,000 people entering and exiting every day. However, it was once the site of a chilling and terrifying incident. One night in 2009, a university student who had stayed late at a party rushed to Oksu Station to catch the last train. He was an avid Twitter user, and as usual, he updated his followers with his status while rushing. At first, his replies were full of casual comments urging him to hurry up and wishing him good luck. He successfully passed through the gates and entered the station. Perhaps because it was late, The platform was empty except for him. It was very quiet. He found a spot on the platform, lowered his head, and continued chatting with users to pass the time. Suddenly, a strange, erratic sound of footsteps drew his attention. When he looked up, he saw a woman with dishevelled hair, wearing a red long dress, hunched over and stumbling across the platform. Her movements were large and very unnatural. Whether she was drunk or not, she kept shaking her head and nearly fell onto the train tracks several times. It all seemed very dangerous. The student watched her for a while and then posted on Twitter.
Wow, there's a girl on the platform who's really drunk.
A user immediately replied.
What does she look like? Is she pretty?
With the audience's excitement, they urged him to take a photo, so, encouraged by his followers, he secretly took a picture and uploaded it. Although her face was covered by her hair, making it hard to see clearly, it was evident she had a slender figure, almost like a beautiful woman. At this moment, the users couldn't hold back. Someone commented,
Not bad, you should go help her.
While he was posting, a loud crashing sound suddenly echoed through the station. The woman had slammed her head hard against the wall and was repeatedly crashing into it, her head bleeding from the impact. Seeing the woman's strange behaviour, the student began to get nervous. He shakily took a picture and posted it online, asking for advice on what to do. Many people encouraged him to go check on her, saying that it was dangerous for a woman to be left alone in such a state. But one user gave a completely different opinion. He said,
Don't interfere, just leave.
Others criticised him for his lack of empathy, but the person explained,
Take a good look at that photo. There's a hand grabbing her hair.
At that point, everyone examined the photo closely and saw a blurry shadow, which appeared to be a hand gripping the woman's hair and pushing her head toward the wall. It turned out that the woman wasn't shaking her head but was trying to struggle. When the student looked up again to check on the woman's condition, she had vanished. He looked around and the entire platform was as empty as it was when he first arrived. She was gone.
Could she have fallen off the platform? Did she really jump?
The student replied.
I'll go check.
After leaving that message, he never responded again. The users continued discussing and eagerly awaited his next update. However, the next day, the news broadcasted a breaking story. Before the first subway train left, staff at Oksu Station discovered the bodies of a man and a woman on the tracks. The station staff initially followed the standard procedure and called the police. The police first assumed it was a suicide pact between a couple, but after an investigation they discovered that the two were complete strangers with no connection to each other. Why they would both end up on the tracks together remains a mystery. Could the student have been pulled onto the tracks by that hand? If you know more about the story, or have any thoughts to share, drop a comment below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more chilling urban legends.